Hello, hello. Pete's Packs here with a bit of a throwback. Actually got quite a few of these um, that we're going to be doing this week, and that is Throne of Eldraine Gift Edition. So this is the Gift Edition of the Throne of Eldraine bundle slash Fat Pack. They were called Fat Packs quite a long time ago at this point. Security tag, little keepsake box thing. And, oh, that's neat. Comes with some art with Goldilocks and Fervent Champion. So that's cool. And then, as with most Fat Packs, there is a kind of secret poster inside of the slip sleeve. So if you split the slip sleeve, which is held together with rubber cement, I guess, you get kind of this cool kind of mini poster thing. Take that apart. Remove the rubber cement. This cool poster. I think that's Rowan. I'll be honest, I don't remember the characters from Throne. It's basically an alternate version of the cover art. And this whole thing is foiled, which is pretty cool. We got a foil box. Inside that box, some stuff. Now, I really dislike the slant design that they switched to like 5 or 6 years ago. Don't really care for it. It is strictly worse than the square edge design, from what I can tell. Now, we've got this really cool oversized die. I think this is the first set that they did the oversized D20 for. I'm not entirely sure, because I was out of keeping up with standard for a couple of years, mostly due to the pandemic. But like most gift bundles slash gift editions, this comes with a collector's booster. This was actually the first set with its own designated collector's boosters. And then you have, I believe, 12 regular boosters. And then a alternate art Piper of the Swarm with the foil lands and a pack of regular lands. So put those off to the side. Various head cards. Yeah, okay, so this is 10 regular packs and then a collector's booster. So we'll do the collector's booster first. I just printed off a rare sheet for Throne. Now, Throne of Eldraine has 68 rares and mythics in total, but only 15 of them are mythics. So that was back when we still had fairly reasonable odds of pulling a singleton copy of a set. So this is a thing. So let's get started with Throne of Eldraine Collector's Booster number 1. Have a foil food token. It's very shiny. That is also a rat token. Oh, so, okay. We have Gingerbread Cabin, which does actually see a little bit of use. Mystic Sanctuary, I believe, is the blue one, and it definitely sees the most use. Beautiful foil opt. Foil um, storybook Curious Pair. Very cool. It's, of course, supposed to be Hansel and Gretel. We have Toonvale Treefolk. Flutterfox, which I wanted this card to be so much better than it ended up being. My partner loves foxes. We tried everything we could to make that card good, and could not find a home for it. Redcap Raiders, Fairy Vandal. I believe Fairy Vandal was recently reprinted too. We have Resolute Rider. We have a foil storybook Beanstalk Giant. Very nice. And a storybook Hypnotic Sprite in non-foil. Then a storybook Oakham Rider, also in non-foil. Storybook Rimrock Knight, also in non-foil. Arcane Signet. Now, this is the set that Arcane Signet was introduced, and at the time they were about $12 to $15. So this would have actually been a great thing to pull before, but isn't. We get a borderless Emery Lurker of the Loch. All right, Emery, we have now pulled one. And a foil borderless Clackbridge Troll. Clackbridge Troll, there it is. All right. Very, very cool. All right, now for the regular booster packs. This was before they did the horrendous split into set boosters and draft boosters. This is the equivalent of what's now called a draft booster, but they were just called booster packs, and everything was right in the world because it had been, the way booster packs have been done more or less for the last 20 some years at that point. 26 years-ish at that point. Thrill of Possibility, nice. That's actually reprinted in standard now. Okay. Glass Casket, which actually saw a ton of play when this set was in standard. Covetous Urge also saw a fair bit of play as a sideboard card. Another Emery Lurker of the Loch. Very nice. Now, a lot of the cards in this set have not retained a ton of value, unfortunately. And then we have an On an Adventure token. If I remember correctly, the only card that's over $10 at this point is the Great Henge, which is like 60 something. But there's quite a few cards that are like $5-6, something like that. The other thing about the older booster packs is they're way easier to open than the current ones because they're not that weird plasticized, or not plasticized, but yeah, plasticized packaging that ends up stretching more often than tearing. Mantle of Tides actually saw a bit of play. Fairy Guide Mother, Curious Pair, So Tiny. It's a good disruption card. Joust, which never really saw a ton of play. Mystical Dispute. That's actually a good one to pull off to the side. Sir Conrad the Grim, which actually sees a fair bit of play in some combo decks. Then we have Castle Lochthwain. Of course, one of the 5 castles. Very nice. We get a foil Redcap Raiders, Forest, and a Night token. Mystical Dispute, of course, sees just an absolute ton of play in Pioneer and even Modern and, believe it or not, Legacy and Vintage sometimes. I was kind of stunned to see how many formats Mystical Dispute shows up in. But I mean, it ends up being uh, effectively a mana leak for 1 against other blue spells, which is really when you need it. It helps you push through and win those counter wars. All right. Eye Collector, which was a ton of fun and sealed. Okay. Animating Fairy in the storybook print. Shepherd. Savvy Hunter, which was very good for the food decks. And Bone Crusher Giant, which actually sees quite a bit of play as well. This is our first Bone Crusher. A Forest and an On an Adventure. Okay, pack number 3. Other nice thing about the older packs is because of how they open, it's much easier to save them. Bake into a Pie. Great removal spell for limited. Actually even saw some play in standard because of its ability to, or because it creates a food. And here we go, Mystic Sanctuary. One of the best commons in the set. So good, in fact, that I believe it's banned in Pauper. You have an Opt, Overwhelmed Apprentice. I could be wrong about that being banned in Pauper, but it is very, very strong. Order of Midnight Storybook, Wandermare, and a Castle Ventress. Very nice. It's our first Castle Ventress. Plains and a Night token. So one of my favorite cards from this set is Dance in the Manse, or Dance of the Manse. Ton of fun, but doesn't really see play anymore because it's not in standard. Like, it was great power level for standard. Not so good for any other format at the moment. Okay. Merfolk Secret Keeper, nice. Rally for the Throne. Witch's Oven, which of course is part of Cat Combo and still sees a fair bit of play. And we have Ayara. This is our first Ayara. So quite a bit of play in sack strategies. And a foil swamp. Mountain and an ad card. All right. That was pack number 5, so pack 6. Good old Reaper of Night. Very strong and sealed. Or very strong and limited, rather. Rosethorn Acolyte. A lot of fun near infinite mana combos that could be done with that. Very good for digging through your deck as well. Beanstalk Giant. We saw quite a bit of play. We have Vantress Gargoyle. This is our first Vantress Gargoyle. And on an adventure. This is what I miss about Magic. Like, these cards were great. And it was nice to have one extra treatment, but like 4 or 5 just has become excessive. So, Forever Young, of course, has the combo with Sir Conrad. Okay. Dwarven Mine, which sees play in Expedition. I think it's Expedition. Exhibition. Exhibition. That's the name of the deck. Okay. All that glitters, of course, seeing play in Enchantress strategies. Lucky Clover, cards so good they had to ban it in Standard. Cauldron Familiar, and a Storybook Fae of Wishes, which was one of my favorite cards from the set. I love being able to play with wish boards, and that let me do it in Standard, which I had not been able to do in quite some time. So we're going to pull the Lucky Clover and the All That Glitters also. And a Human Warrior token. Alright, pack 8. Scorching Dragonfire. That actually still sees a little bit of play. Okay. Arcanist Owl. That was a lot of fun in the Devotion deck. Roldrick Banner. Mana Rock that makes your creatures bigger. Acclaimed Contender. The first card of the set. Is our first one. Okay, and an ad card. All right, pack number 9. All right, Merchant of the Veil, which is used for quite a bit of, in quite a few combos to dig. Let's see, Witch's Cottage is one of the fetchable spell lands, basically. Deafening Silence, which sees tons of sideboard play. It gets pulled. Edgewold Innkeeper also sees tons of play still. And then we have Linden, the Steadfast Queen. It's our first Linden. We have Youthful Knight, Island, and a Rat token. Yeah, it's funny how many cards from this set see significant play, but don't cost much. And I attribute that largely to how much of this set got opened and the pandemic. Because this set landed right around when the pandemic started, or just before the pandemic started. I don't remember. I think this was the Christmas 2019. Well, not Christmas, but the late 2019 set. I believe we had Theros after this. It's kind of hard to keep everything straight for that in my head for that time. Another Dwarven Mine. So I ended up playing this set predominantly on Arena because, excuse me, because of the pandemic. Cauldron familiar with the Witch's Oven. Well, then we have Witch's Vengeance. It ended up being a fairly useful sweeper, although it didn't see a ton of competitive play. Okay, and a food token. All right, very nice. As always, thank you for joining me on an adventure. Dad jokes. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And let me know in the comments what's your favorite card from Throne of Eldraine and why. For me, it's I think it's Dance of the Mance just because it was so much fun to, or Dance of the Mance because it was so much fun and it reminds me of the song Be Our Guest from Beauty and the Beast, which was one of my childhood, a movie that I really enjoyed from my childhood. But other than that, it was probably the Bay of Wishes or one of the castles. I really liked the castles too. But yeah, let me know in the comments. And until next time, stay awesome, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.